Hi, I'm Drew Maresco, editor-in-chief of Best Recipes magazine. Today I'm going to show you how to make mozzarella stuffed meatballs. Meatballs are an Italian classic, and you might be thinking, I don't need another recipe for meatballs. I beg to differ. And today we're going to be making the mozzarella stuffed meatballs, like I said, which is a total riff on the classic, and it's a lot of fun to make. It's not complicated at all. So you're going to need 1 cup of panko breadcrumbs, and you're going to add 1/3 cup of warm water. That's going to soften them up because they're kind of dry. I know, panko, not Italian, but it's going to work, I promise. We're going to go ahead and let that sit over there. I've got 2 pounds of ground beef. This is an 80-20, so it's a little bit higher in fat. You can go with something leaner, or you can switch to ground turkey. That would be great. Either way, it's going to be totally fine. I have 1/2 teaspoon of coarse salt and pepper to taste. I got about maybe 1/4 teaspoon in here. Just going to add that in. Got 1 teaspoon of dried Italian seasoning and 1 egg. You don't want any shell in there. Cool. All right, I need a tablespoon of freshly chopped parsley. It's just gonna, you don't want the stems. The fresh parsley is going to add a nice hit of fresh flavor and smell. There's something about parsley, I just love it. It's one of my favorites. It gets kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's a little bit undervalued in the kitchen, but fresh parsley adds so much great flavor. So definitely don't ignore it. It's one of those, it's really cheap at the grocery store too, and I think it's on par with basil if you ask me. You're not looking for it to be too fine either. I like it to be a little bit larger chunks because I want to see it in the meatball when I open them up to see the melty cheese on the inside and that fresh green. All right, I'm just going to eyeball it. A little more for good measure. All right, so we're going to add in our soaked breadcrumbs. Ooh. Here is one of the tricks that you got to know. People often will use spoons and stuff because they're afraid of the germs and all the grossness of raw meat, but you can't do it. What that results in is a dry meatball. It's going to be a little bit tough and just not a texture that you're looking for. So get your hands. You're looking to be quick and thorough and just get in there. Don't be afraid. It'll be over before you know it. There we go. We don't want to go too crazy because we're still gonna have to work the mozzarella balls or mozzarella cheese into the meatball. So just, it's good enough. I have a greased baking sheet already set up for me, and we're gonna be dividing this into 12 even meatballs. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. Shouldn't be too bad. Gonna make a disc in your hand. Place 1 piece of cheese in the center. You're going to work that around the cheese. Make sure it's nice and sealed. You don't want the cheese oozing out in the oven. All that deliciousness would go to waste. All right, so we got 1 down, and then we're going to go ahead, just keep going with all 12 of them. It goes so quick, you won't even believe it. Stuff it with cheese, work the meatball. Again, you want to work quick. You know, we were working delicately before because we don't want to result in a tough meatball. And the more you have to mess with it, the tougher they're gonna be. Now you can serve this however you want. I have traditionally just served it with the marinara sauce, but this is definitely great over pasta. So if you want to do that when you're preheating your oven, get a large pot of water going. You're going to probably need a whole box of pasta. So it's going to feed a lot of people, maybe 2 meatballs per person. What's great about a homemade meatball too is you can use the store-bought sauce and you combine the flavors together and it's going to just taste amazing no matter what. And you don't have to go through all the work of making your own sauce, although you could. There's absolutely nothing wrong with making a homemade sauce, but to me, if you have a showstopper protein, you might be able to cut some corners and save yourself a little bit of time. After a while, this gets kind of fun, I promise. All right, all of them are done. Look at that. Off to the oven they go. About 25 minutes in a 350 degree oven should do it. All right, after 25 minutes, they're done. All but maybe 2 have burst with the cheese, but that's okay. It looks good, smells good. It's going to be just absolutely amazing. So go ahead and take 2. You're gonna wanna serve them. I'll take that one because I'm feeling a little greedy. All right. Take a look at that. You'd be hard pressed to find a meatball that's gonna be as show-stopping as this one. Enjoy.